Well, hello, my name is Carrie Sandom. I'm here at the Gospel Coalition Women's Conference. I flew in from London just a few days ago, and it's just wonderful to be here.
My name is Lydia Brownback, and I'm based in Wheaton, Illinois.
And my name is Jenny Salt. I'm from Sydney, Australia. I flew in a few days ago as well. I'm slightly jet lagged, and I suppose I should say g'day. That's what we say in Australia, anyway. And we're here at the Gospel Coalition Women's Conference. If you can hear any noise around us, it's because all the women are getting ready to go into the auditorium. And we're here talking this morning on the topic of singleness.
Now, we are from 3 different continents.
Yes, we are.
But I guess the issue of singleness is the same in each of those places.
Yeah.
It can be a real challenge for people in their singleness. Some people find it very liberating. They have a lot of freedom that they wouldn't necessarily have. And yet I guess for a lot of people that it's a very painful thing too. So
Yes.
Jenny, you're here to speak on the issue of singleness. So
I
we need to
am.
give you the platform really now. What are you going to be saying in your seminar tomorrow?
Yes, well, the seminar is called Singleness, What Does God Think? And the reason why we've decided on that title is because so often when we, as single women and as single people and as people generally, we allow the world and the world's priorities to determine how we think about our situations, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And it's the same with singleness. So the world says that it's made for 2 and you're not complete until you're with your partner, and if you're single, you're waiting for someone to come along and your life is on hold. And the idea of the seminar is to get us to think about what God says. What does God say in His Word? And to make sure that we are aligning our hearts and our minds in every way in our lives with what God says in His Word, and to remind ourselves of His character, to remind ourselves that He always does good, He always does what is right, and we can apply that to our lives in every way. So the seminar is going to be looking at that, going to be looking at what the Bible says, going to be discussing too the hard stuff of being single, but also reminding ourselves of the sovereignty of God, and thinking about what it means to be content and to live for the Lord whatever our circumstances, and to get on and not put our lives on hold. So that's basically the nutshell of...
Well, I'm looking forward to it very much indeed. Now, Lydia, I guess this is an issue for women in the States.
Just as much, I'm sure, as it is in the UK, yes. And I think one of the issues I think makes it difficult is that the church sometimes struggles with what to do with singles. They're not sure how to treat them, whether to feel sorry for them, whether to show them pity or what. And I just want to say, no, plug us in. We want to be useful. We want to use our singleness to the glory of God. And if you would invite us to participate, we will jump in. And to the single women, I want to say, do jump in. Don't just sit back and wait for a husband. God may well indeed bring you one. But what are you doing in the meantime? Are you living for His glory? Are you involved in your church? Are you serving with the gifts He's given you in a unique way you have opportunity to do today that you won't if you get married?
It can be difficult though, can't it? I mean, so much of what the church exists for is to promote family life.
Yes.
And if you're not involved in a family in quite the same way, if you don't have a husband, if you don't have children, then you can feel a little bit on the edge.
Yes.
And that can be a very painful...
It can. I think
painful
that
thing.
for single women, there is a certainly grieving the potential of, or the loss of potential. So particularly as you get older, and I'm at the age now where I know I will not be able to have children, whether I get married or not, and there is a grieving of that loss. And there are other things like loneliness, and self-esteem comes into it as well, a sense of it's personal, it's related to me. Why doesn't anyone want to marry me? It becomes very personal. So there are issues that, regardless of what other people say, that we can feel ourselves. But I think that the topic of singleness is one that is relevant for everyone. And there is also, I think, a lack of understanding in the church that I think is seen and is also compounded by the segregation of congregations.
Yes.
In Australia, the bigger churches have life stage congregations. They have the 8 o'clock for the older people, grandparents, the 10 o'clock service for the families, 5 o'clock for the people who are single in professional areas, and the evening service for the youth. And you don't get to mix with each other and to see each other's circumstances. and to see what actually life is about from all different perspectives. And I think that that's unfortunate because we don't see the difficulties as well as the wonderful things.
Well, I'm really glad that you've raised some of those issues. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. And Lydia, it's really good to meet you today as well.
Too.